Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world. Believe it or not, this city was built on faith, and I will explain in this video how that's true. Millions of dollars pour into the city every day from games like Keno, where casinos offer to pay up to $1 million on a $1 bet. If you can pick the correct 20 numbers out of 80 possible numbers that will be drawn at random, and then you do it again, leaving the winnings from the first bet on the table, you could theoretically own all of Reno in 10 minutes. Now that's the kind of risk that the casinos are prepared to take. Keno, by the way, is not fixed. This is why I say that the city is built on faith. No, not faith in God, but faith in the odds. The gambling bosses have faith that the odds are going to work in their favor eventually. Sometimes they're only stacked about 55-45. They lose occasionally, but over time, it all comes back, and a lot more. The risk of them actually going broke is infinitely small compared to the certainty of them always winning in the long run. Jesus told about people being given money to invest. One person buried the money to keep it safe, but he was punished for it. People who are afraid to take risks never get anywhere. When it comes to casino-type gambling, of course, it's foolish to put your money there. Why? Well, because the odds are stacked against you. If you ever want to put your money on the line in a casino, be sure that you're doing it as the owner, not as one of the suckers who's being ripped off by the casino. But there are plenty of places where a profit of some sort can be almost guaranteed, like it is for the casino owners in Reno. In the story Jesus told, the king was angry with his servant because his servant thought that if he did nothing, he would be safe. The king expected him to invest what he'd been given. Now, something that a lot of people miss in this parable about the talents and the investments is that Jesus was not talking about making money at all. He was talking about spiritual investments. And spiritual investments, like all other investments, are rarely foolproof. Often we're only 60% or 70% certain about what God wants us to do. We could be wrong, and sometimes we will be wrong. Face it. Yet, if you keep trying, and if you're humble enough to reflect on what went wrong, you're going to make progress. And in the end, God will reward you for it. Just like the king rewarded those servants in the story, the ones who doubled what he had given them. This is the Reno principle. Faithfulness will pay big dividends in the end. But faithfulness means doing things and making decisions day after day after day. Decisions which are never dead-set certainties. The kingdom of heaven, the biggest little kingdom in the universe, is built on the same principle. Just like all the casinos in Reno, Nevada. You win a few, you lose a few, but you always win more than you lose if you keep on asking God for guidance. Religion, as we see it in so many churches today, is built on the burial principle, that it's safer to do nothing, bury your talent, than to risk making a mistake. The church is full of spiritual losers who stopped listening to God, if in fact they ever did listen to Him. They stopped because they could not get 100% clarity. They wanted all the answers. They wanted ironclad guarantees before they would do anything. What a shame. What pathetic fools. They commit spiritual suicide just because they cannot face the risk of being spiritually alive and spiritually active. In the 8th chapter of Romans, Paul tells us that everything turns out good to those who love and follow God. It doesn't mean that we don't have difficulties, doesn't mean we won't make mistakes, but overall, we never lose. The difficulties and even the mistakes are matched and even exceeded by greater pleasures, greater triumphs, and greater experience, simply because we kept on trying to love and obey God. That's all God wants. So in conclusion, you don't need a perfect record to win the kingdom. You just need to keep acting on what God gives you, even if it's not 100% clear. As you hang in there, trying and learning, trying and learning, trying and learning, you continue to grow, and God continues to bless you. So stop holding back. Step out in faith and act on what God is telling you to do right now. And God bless you, for He will.